The pledge for today is I will take personal ownership. I'll exhibit good stewardship, be disciplined, and exercise follow through. I will treat company property and money as if it were my own. If a customer tells me a problem, I will own it and see it through to completion. When I think about this pledge, it reminds me of this time in 2009, and not to abuse the football analogies here, of Tim Tebow. And Tim Tebow and the Florida Gators had experienced a devastating loss to Ole Miss. And like, a lot of times we and players want to do is blame people. But Tim Tebow didn't blame a single person. He took personal ownership for it. And he said, I will work harder than anyone's ever worked, and we will do better. And ultimately speaking, he did that. And I think that's the big difference too, in terms of, it wasn't just simply a great speech about what, he wanted to do. That speech was a point in time, a moment of change to where he really decided to take personal ownership. And he showed up in practice and worked harder, and he played harder in each game. And ultimately, the Florida Gators went on, beat my favorite team, Alabama, in the SEC championship, and went on to win the national championship that game or that year because of his leadership and his willingness to own the conclusion that he wanted to have. So when I think about that in terms of our company, I think we all have to have that same perspective. And you kind of have two options. Are you going to sit by, blame, and look at what other people are doing? Are you going to take the personal ownership for that? Personal ownership for that customer, personal ownership for that other employee, personal ownership for that vendor. When you see a problem, when you see an issue, jump in on it, grab the bull by the horns, if you will, and see it through to completion. Even if you're not in service, if a customer tells you a problem, make sure that problem gets handled for them. Follow through on that issue. If you're in customer service and you got an accounting question, make sure that customer's answer gets handled. As each of us do this, that's one of the things that helps make us be set apart from the other companies. Most people just want to pass it over the wall, let somebody else handle it, and forget about it. But we at Slappy, as I tell you guys all the time, we're a technology company, but what makes us different is that we care about our customers, and it shows in our creativity. And I'd add to that it shows in our ownership, our personal ownership. So as you go this week, as you serve each other, as you serve the customers, it's easy to want to pass the buck to somebody else, but I encourage you all to have that attitude saying, hey, the buck stops here. And if it comes on my plate, then I will take personal ownership to make sure that that person, that vendor, especially that customer, gets taken care of.